Hello, Peter. Let's continue our discussion about your experience with infotainment channel. Yeah.
Yes, let's continue.
So I think we end up our first season with movement to video production, yeah, and it's point where we end our previous talks. So let's discuss what you discover by doing with video production and how it's going in reality.
Okay, so how's the video production going and what I've discovered? Well, as a percentage, the video production is very low, very low percentage. We can talk about that in a little bit maybe, but I'm thinking that maybe it was ambitious to have such a long video for the first episode because it
Yeah.
means there's a lot of work going on that needs to be handled to achieve the first episode. And then what have I discovered? I've discovered my apartment floor is very noisy because it's this old like 60s building and I have this parquet flooring.
Yes, yes, parquet. Yeah, I understood. It's like kind of wooden.
Yeah, exactly. It's this wooden herringbone pattern or something like
Yeah.
that.
So it's create noise, or what is the issue?
It squeaks when I walk.
I see.
So like the first time I set up the scene, I managed to get the green screen from like wall to wall, and then I set up my camera at like the far end of the apartment and just like kind of like framed correctly. And I was walking on the floor, and when I'm walking and moving, it's like squeak, squeak, squeak. And when I listen back in the recording, I can hear it like
Mm.
squeak, 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 squeak. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare to like clean. Like to have to go through the audio and like remove all of these squeaks individually is
Yes,
just like
yes.
insane. Um,
Means each your moves create this kind of noise, yeah, for like screaming, yeah,
exactly. So I tried some options to like mitigate. Like I have
yeah. Do you change apartment, going to new one
yeah, I was thinking like fuck, like I'll have
with
to.
a concrete floor?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'll have to move apartment to like get rid of this, like to a modern building or a concrete floor, exactly, or like rent a
Yeah.
studio space. I don't know.
Well, let's formulate it like lesson one for our listeners. Do recording only in modern building. Yeah? Do not
Yeah,
rent apartment or do not stay in the old ones.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, because it's yeah noise, and I guess this is what do they call these like big studio buildings where it looks like a warehouse or something from the outside. You know,
Yes, yes.
I think they call these sound stages, and I guess part of it is it's just like because it's such a huge space and because the floor's solid, you can control the environment and
Hmm.
control the sound. So this is one thing I tried to mitigate by I have this like memory foam mattress. I put it on the floor,
Hmm.
but still it doesn't really work. So then I flipped the layout so that I'm recording from the other end of my apartment because at the reverse end I have the kitchen and the kitchen floor is like tile. It's not this like parquet flooring. But then the issue is I only have 1.5 meters square to like walk around, so I don't
Yeah,
really have like
yeah.
freedom of movement. So that kind of yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like we especially discussed that you want to set up with a green screen and then you want to move like in this style of weather forecast, yeah.
yeah,
And if you limit it just 1.5 square meters, so yeah, yeah, it's changes the scene.
exactly. It changes the scene, and I have like the voices of my like acting coaches in my head because like I remember like
Hmm.
feedback we'd often get would be like they'd be like you use the space. And I remember one observation that they'd often have when like two people were playing a scene. So one acting coach was saying like actors always want to come close to each other for some reason. He's saying like he thinks
Hmm.
it's like a human thing or something that people want to
Hmm.
be close, but when you have like a whole stage, you want to use the
Yeah, you need to
space.
use the space for not looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in the
exactly.
small area.
Yeah, especially when you're doing improvisational acting because you might not have actual like props and furniture and like scenery, so you need to
Mm-hmm.
paint the scene with your motion and with your actions and sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So finally, how do you fix your scene setup?
Well, yeah, with compromise, I guess. Like this is the best solution I came up with using like the kitchen area with the tiled floor and just trying to move less. But there's other problems. Okay, so on the topic of sound, my
Hmm.
building makes noises and like people make noises.
From neighbors from the street, yeah. So it's external noises, let's say.
Yeah, and this was just me trying to do like a 1 minute test recording, and I had to try like several times because always someone like using the elevator, which is old and rattly because it's from the 60s, or slamming the apartment door, which is like made of metal.
And your microphone is very sensitive, yeah. So it's there is no noise cancellation. So it's capturing all those noises, which, like you say, door slashing, elevators, sounds, etc. Or you do not use noise cancellation for some reason, because I believe in modern microphone systems you can set up level of noise cancellation, maybe.
It's a good question because I have this shotgun mic, this like pointy microphone, which is meant to be directional. So it only will record
Mm-hmm.
what's in front of it. I had this mounted on top of my camera, and then I'm standing maybe like 2 or 3 meters, I guess. So like the microphone's just pointing at me. So it's kind of okay. It does have some noise cancellation in it, but the noise cancellation isn't intelligent, active noise cancellation. It's a 60 hertz
Mm-hmm.
cut. So it's not to like cut like environmental noise that's leaking into the stage.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, like you say, since it's a remote microphone 2-3 meters, so it's capturing big volume of space, like covering big space. Yeah, it's not exactly like microphone which you clips to your t-shirts or something like this.
And also, and additionally, like when I reverse the setup, like you say, it's covering a big space, and also it's pointing in the
Mm-hmm.
direction of the green screen. But now the green screen is by the kitchen, and the kitchen is by the elevator. Like literally behind my kitchen wall, there's like an elevator shaft, and so like the cables are like rattling and stuff like this because it's the
Mm-hmm.
building age. It hasn't been built for like environmental noise control. So it's problematic, and I think to mitigate this, I just have to try to record like very specific times of day on like specific days. Like maybe 8 a.m. on a Sunday. Everybody's still having a
Mm-hmm.
sleep, their long lie, they're not going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of
First,
restricts.
you need to make research to detect what is most quiet time in your area. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
and then record in that time.
Yeah, so this creates a scheduling challenge that I hadn't thought about before. So that's something to think about, I guess, for anyone who's wanting to do home recording. Yeah, when will you be able to record? How much noise is there? Maybe maybe there's microphones that you could use that would detect less noise. Like I'm using the
Mm-hmm.
shotgun mic, but maybe if I was using like a lapel mic, they call it, I think it would be less bad. So maybe more experimentation is needed, or I need to find a new place to record.
Yeah, to rent some kind of studio, in co-working space maybe. But then it will take a lot of things to set up. Like you will need to bring your green screen, your equipment, everything, like move. It's
Exactly.
better to set up at one time at your home rather than each time bring somewhere and doing setups. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's one set of problems.
So then it's usually like camera, sound, lighting. So let's talk maybe about it. Like about sound is clear.
Yeah,
And like you say, that you need to choose a proper time for eliminate all external noises. And what your experience about the camera usage? Yeah, like including management of camera, like remote control, how you manage it, lighting, which is usually important for the quality of video. Yeah, what happens on that side?
it was kind of okay with lighting. I was a bit worried that the green screen was not going to like expose correctly. I think like it's going to look weird. But as we discussed in a previous episode, I think the goal isn't like perfection or like Hollywood perfection. It's okay if it looks
Yeah.
if it looks rough. It's okay that it looks homemade. So I think it met this criteria.
It's good enough.
It's good enough. Yeah, exactly. Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah.
That's the key words. So that was okay. Um, Saying that, I was trying the lighting on during the daytime, and I didn't have like blackout curtains or something on my window, so there is like some ambient light. And this will be maybe problematic because I don't have complete control over lighting. Like I don't have studio lighting in my apartment. I don't have dedicated lights for the scene. So like when I was doing the test recording, it was like maybe a little bit cloudy outside. So I would have got this very like flat light in the apartment, like no depths of shadows and things like that. But probably if I record it again like the next day and it's sunny outside, like the scene might be like my face might be lit slightly differently, or even like times of day might affect lighting.
So then maybe you need to do it during the evening time, yeah, when there is no like sunlight,
Yeah.
only internal illumination.
Yeah, I can give you a quick podcasty anecdotes.
Hmm.
As I mentioned before, I grew up in Cornwall in England, coastal region, and I heard that when they were filming Pirates of the Caribbean, they shot
Hmm.
many of the scenes for like the ships and stuff in Cornwall instead of like in Los Angeles. And you think, okay, why would they come all the way to Cornwall, England, from Los
Yeah,
Angeles to shoot this? It's because what you have in Los Angeles, you have like 330 days of pure sunlight.
sun.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
like perfect weather. Like perfect if you want to lie on a beach. But if you want to shoot a movie outside on a ship, you don't want this like hard, direct sunlight.
Yes,
You
yes,
want
yes.
you want shitty English weather with clouds.
Yes, yes, exactly. Windy, cloudy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like exactly, so they shot it in Cornwall because it's more likely to be cloudy, so they have more control over the lighting.
Yeah, I remember when the first part is started, it's they sailing in the fog even, yeah. It's like fog and like
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, so it's where you can find fog in California, yeah, probably.
yeah, exactly.
But in Cornwall, probably every second morning, yeah.
Yeah,
But
in
in
Cornwall,
Cornwall,
it's all the time. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We even have a specific word. I don't know if it's Cornish or English, but it's a combination of like misty and drizzly. Drizzle's like light rain.
Hmm.
So like when it's misty and rainy at the same time, it's like
Yes, yes,
mizzly.
yeah.
So yeah, we have our own word for the weather. It's so common that it's misty and wet and rainy
Yeah,
there. And
it's good consideration, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I'm learning similar lessons, I guess, in my apartment. Like it was a cloudy day that day, but I think if I was to record again on a sunny day, it might not go so well.
Hmm.
So the light is difficult, and camera you asked about.
Yeah, I mean, technical setup, how you did it. Did you manage it alone or you use, I don't know, third party, someone
I
helps
see.
you to start camera, move it, make focus on you, or you did it everything by yourself with remote control or just sit up, click, run to the scene and do the act and then run to stop, or how do you manage it?
Pretty much the last one. Pretty much the last one.
Do it by yourself, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have camera set up on a tripod. I like hit record, run the scene, test, run back to the camera, stop record, rewatch, like listen through the headphones. How does it sound?
Mhm.
Blah blah blah. How does it look? Um, and yeah, it kind of works because I'm doing this like weatherman format. The camera can be like fairly static. It doesn't have to
So it
like
means it's you moving, not camera moving and focusing or unfocusing. Yeah, yeah. So it's you moving on the scene.
yeah. But I
I see.
realize now when I'm watching other content creators who are doing these sorts of like video essay, I don't know, like just discussing things, like often they're just sitting down in a seat
Hmm.
and I look at them like with a little bit of envy. I'm thinking like how easy it is just to sit still.
Yeah, just to
Because
be static, yeah, in one in one area, just sitting.
yeah, yeah, because when I look back at when I was rewatching the videos of me like um trying to do the first scene or do the introduction even, I'm like, I look almost like a corpse. I'm like standing in one place, I don't have any expression, any movement. So then I have to go back and read. But it's okay to be like a corpse if you're sitting in a seat. You're not expected to move.
Hmm.
But if you're standing and you're not like we were talking about the space earlier, like I wasn't even using
Yes.
the space. And it's very obvious, like if you're standing in this like big frame and you're just like in the middle, not using the
Yeah.
space, it looks unnatural. So like this is something that I have to work on somehow. It's like
Yeah, it's
presentation.
it's a good point you touch. It's like outside of the technical aspects, like camera, lighting, sound quality, we come to the point which is how you behave on with the scene, like you as a actor, as a main character. Like we say, we want to use it as a weather forecast style. You won't be as a farmer Pete. So means okay, let's try with actor side of the trial. So how do you feel it? What you discovered during these trials? Like you say, first shooting, you stay as a, as a
Yeah,
column,
yeah,
in
the
the
column.
middle, column in the middle.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so yeah, please.
Yeah, like that was basically my experience. I looked like a column in the so I wasn't using the space, I wasn't moving, and I felt like this was a slightly different experience from my acting classes because when I was
Mhm.
in the acting classes, I always had another actor, and you bounce off them,
Yeah.
so you have someone to interact with and react to. And yeah, the cliche acting thing that the coach always say, like acting is action and reaction. But when you're a weatherman, when you're standing on your own, you don't have anything to react to. You don't have it. So it's a bit different. Like you're talking to the camera, maybe talking about something that's happening behind you on the scene, but you don't have like a human to like bounce emotions off.
Mhm.
So that was actually a slightly different challenge.
But then even if you look on with weatherman behavior, they're always moving also. They're moving, they're interacting with the screen, yeah?
Yeah,
Like always shows like this. And so it means they're also not static, they not stay in one place. They're like moving on one corner, then change to another, then so yeah, it's probably what you also can practice.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And what I did was I realized that I haven't been going to acting classes for the last few months. So I decided that I can go and watch an acting class. There's one guy organizing this thing called like Forum Theatre. It's a Brazilian guy, and
Mm-hmm.
this Forum Theatre is this interesting theatre thing that's come out of Brazil, where it's like they try and talk about social issues. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll always have like one character who's like an oppressor and one who's like the oppressed, and then like they'll play out some social dilemma, and then the audience will get to intervene. So they have these interventions, and then audience can like change the direction, so
Mm-hmm.
they can kind of control the scene a little bit and change and rewrite the ending of the story or something like that. Very interesting idea, and like I thought it would be a good exercise to go and watch so I can understand how it's working. But
Mm-hmm.
also it'll help refresh my memory, like watching other actors act out scenes and develop their scenes. It might help me with my own like self-reflection and self-analysis,
Yeah.
forcing myself into this like analytical mindset, like, okay, how are they moving, how are they emoting in their voice, is it clear what their motivation is as a
Yeah,
character,
it
this sort of
will
thing.
give you like when you're watching, you'll say, okay, this good element I can take to myself, during my recording.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
movements, behavior. Yes, yes.
yeah. But then we this also revealed like another problem, and you yeah, you'll hate me for this, but it goes back to the script. We already spent one or two episodes talking about the script,
Yes.
but like I realized that when I wrote the script, I kind of okay, I wrote it as a video essay, and I wrote the voice of this character. And then,
Mm-hmm.
as a separate exercise, I decided, okay, I want to develop this character more, like give him a backstory, to write this thing called a character profile.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the character has some depth, like where did he come from, who were his parents, all these sorts of things that would
Mm-hmm.
help, like, an actor figure out how should I act with this character, like, what are their motivations and things like that. But when I was doing the scene, I realized it's a little bit awkward because I haven't. The way I wrote it was like jump straight into the topic of YouTube and the history of YouTube, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no like explanation of why is this guy a farmer? Why is he on the farm? Like it's too like it's too sudden. It doesn't make sense. It's like
Yeah. So means you need some kind of intro, yeah, about this guy. Who is it and why it's like you say, from
yeah,
where it's pop up.
yeah, exactly. Like it needs to be layered because that's what I'm realizing that guys like we mentioned, like these Tom Scott, like internet historian, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not layered. It's not like this Tom Scott guy. He comes on the camera and it's like, oh, my name's Tom Scott. I grew up in the Oxfordshire and I have a
Mm-hmm.
dog and whatever. He just comes on and starts talking about the topic, because the topic is the video. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm kind of doing it as a character, there's kind of like this second layer where it's like dual. There's like the topic, and then there's this sort of like meta layer on top. I don't know, not meta layer, but you
Mm-hmm.
understand what I mean, right? It's layered. It's layered.
Yes, 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 yeah, yeah.
So what I'm realizing about the character is that character also has their own narrative. And
Mm-hmm.
I need to be thinking not only about the narrative of YouTube,
But
which I,
also narrative of character,
but
yeah, yeah.
also narrative of the character, exactly like
And how to introduce it
how to
into
introduce it.
the channel.
Why
I
is he
see.
making videos? Why is he on the farm wanting your
Yeah.
attention? Yeah, and I know how I can do this based on the character profile I've written, but I realize that
Mm-hmm.
my script doesn't accommodate this.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to go back to the script and weave it back
So
in.
like
But
if summarize, so is first trial of production, let's say video production,
yeah,
discover the things that we need to return back to the first step and rewrite the script, yeah.
yeah, maybe not rewrite, but just kind of weave in
Yeah.
some extra narrative about the character. Like I don't have to like delete
Yeah.
it and start again, but just need to figure out how I can make it a bit more personal to this character. So it's not just like a
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia article or something, So like it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's one thing. But now what I'm also thinking, I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. But I'm thinking like I had a list of topics. Maybe I could find a more discrete topic that
Mm-hmm.
would be a shorter video. So I'd just try and do something like in a 1 minute video that won't have depth just to be able to record something. Because if the video was very short, it would bypass these issues of like having to get consistent lighting between
Yes,
takes
yes,
and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Like the longer the video is, the more effort there
Yeah,
is.
more factors you need to count and more external points can influence on the video quality, video production. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So means you even thinking to change format because we discussed that it should be mid-range video, like around 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes per episode.
Uh,
But you thinking like 1, 2, 3 minutes, like shots, YouTube shots. You want to start it like YouTube shots? Or?
no, I don't know. Shorts. The trouble is that like I knowing myself, I know that I'll be tempted to like always go deeper into the topic. So I might have an idea of, okay, I can create like a 1 minute video about this topic, but then I feel like, oh no, the topic's got so many layers that I'm not doing it justice. And then
Mm,
it'll just grow into another 30, 40 minute video. So that's what I'm afraid of, that if I like come up with this idea, no, I'll just do a short video on this thing, then like without having
yeah,
some sort of like limiting factor to like force it to be short, there's a risk of making it very long. So
yeah, yeah.
it has to be a subject which is interesting enough to be short, but not so interesting that it justifies a longer video, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's different. I would say different production style because for the long read, the long video, you have time, you explain everything, you make the structure. For the short, it's like flashes, because on 60 second, I don't know, even 2 minutes, there is no time to explain. It's like flashing. It's maybe will require more graphic, more like it's fast, it's flashing, it's clipping, it's something like this. It's TikTok style, let's say.
Yeah, maybe.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it can be more difficult to make a small thing than a large thing sometimes. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, okay. What is next steps? You did trial, you discover things which we discussed already. So yeah, what is in your mind for the next steps?
uh, I think either what I need is a smaller target, so like either a smaller topic, or I need better structure. Like at the moment, what I've got is a script, but I don't have like a shot list. But
Mm-hmm.
when they do like professional productions, they'll have this thing called like a shot list, where like, okay, we need to record this, we need to record this, we
Mm-hmm.
need to record this, and then you just go down recording each scene, checking the boxes one by one. And at the end, you have all the footage, and you throw it together, you edit it, blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
and you have your final output. But at the moment, I don't have that structure. I just have a script. So maybe that's what I'm missing.
Yeah, so like break it down for the actionable items, like small steps which you will just follow, like checklist.
Yeah, exactly. And that might also like force me to identify some like gaps in the script because I have this green screen set up And
Mm-hmm.
in the script, at some points, I'm like, okay, yeah, like I can throw this on the green screen and I can be talking about this. But I know there's some holes in the script where like I might not have something. So like having like a shot list, it might also force me to think about
Mm-hmm.
what I'm showing in the background, you know. So maybe next step, or maybe two next steps, like try to weave in more character narrative to the script, and
Mm-hmm.
then try and break the script down into like a shot list, so that I have
Okay.
these small units of work which are achievable rather than this big thing which needs to be somehow turned into a video.
Yeah, yeah. Clear, clear. Okay, so then let's say thanks to our listener if they still listening.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks,
And yeah,
thanks for joining us on season
yeah,
two into the
yeah,
production journey. Yeah,
production journey. Yeah, we will
yeah.
keep you updated. Yeah, subscribe and stay with us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, subscribe,
Yeah.
send your mother blah blah message in a bottle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.